we're starting.
Okay.
Hello. Thanks for joining me today. How was your camping trip last weekend? David
It
was
was
super excited.
a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Thanks for
Oh,
asking, yeah.
yay. Um, I thank you again for joining me today. I'm really glad we were able to meet up and we can, try and work together to figure out what's going on with David's more recent behaviors. His teachers, I had talked to them earlier, they said they had a few concerns, and it sounds like you might be having some similar concerns, seeing some similar behaviors at home. Sounds like you're seeing an increase in like non-compliance and tantrums and some other more defiant behaviors. Does that sound about right?
Yes. Anytime I ask him to do anything around the house, to clean his room or, set the dinner table, he just refuses and he will throw things or he'll drop to the floor and start crying, yelling. Oh.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you giving me your input. It's so valuable because, you spend the most time with David, more so than any of us. And so it's great to hear your input about what's going on. As I mentioned before, in this meeting, our main focus is going to be kind of to discuss what's been happening and then try and narrow this down to figure out what exactly we want to focus on, what we want to target, and kind of go from there. Let's see. But, before we get into all that, I wanted to check in about some good things that David has been doing. David's teacher told me he was doing really well with math recently, so that's awesome to hear. And I was wondering if there was any other activities that you noticed him enjoying or doing particularly well with.
He does like craft time. He's always bringing home paintings and that sort of thing. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, crafts are so fun. I like doing those too. And then during his free time, does he choose to do crafts then, or are there some other things that he likes to do?
He really likes to do puzzles.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna try and use those strengths and those interests of his. It's really important to know those. So we can try and incorporate those into our intervention to work on those areas that we'd like to improve a little bit. Are there any, overall, are there any, future goals? What do you see for him in the future? What's something you'd really like to see him accomplish?
I would really like him to go into a gen ed high school. Right now he's in special ed classes, so I would really like to see that for him in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a great goal. And so definitely working on those behaviors. We'll work towards that for sure. Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I mean, I did want to let you know at David's age, he is only 7. He's still in first grade. So it's still somewhat appropriate to be seeing some of these behaviors every once in a while. But we definitely do want to focus more on him using his words, using that more functional communication. I don't want to do that. I don't like it. That kind of stuff, and moving away from the tantrums and the defiant behavior. But, of course, we will, I'm sure, still see some tantrums from time to time. That's pretty typical for his age. But it sounds like where it's at now is a bit above and beyond what we normally see. I did want to check, are there, have you noticed any concerns, do you have any concerns with his language development? I want to make sure this isn't a communication problem.
No, he uses his words really well.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, okay, so now just teaching him to use them at the appropriate times. And let's see, sounds like there's a lot that we want to talk about. but we're going to try and like focus it down, narrow it down a little bit more so we can come up with a more manageable plan. So we're not just like trying to cover everything, and that won't give us we want a more detailed, we'd rather have a more detailed like analysis and focus on one behavior, and then we can expand from there once we get that under control. What would be like your priority for something to focus on?
I would really like to see these outbursts, these tantrums, just eliminate.
For sure. It sounds like that might be the biggest impact on your life right now.
Yeah.
And so let's just kind of discuss what exactly we're talking about when we're saying he's having a tantrum, he's having an outburst. I know you said he's falling to the floor. What are some other things that he's doing when he's having these tantrums?
He's just flat out refusing to do anything. He screams. He's attempted to bite his brothers a couple of times, running away from, the area. Just
okay, definitely. Those are sounds like kind of some extreme tantrums there, especially with the biting and running away. That's definitely not safe. And how long would you say these tantrums typically last?
Anywhere to about 5 minutes to 20 minutes or so. It just becomes a big part of our day.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, this is definitely great information. So we're gonna, by narrowing down these specifics, we can focus more during those times. I did actually want to check in. Is there a particular time of the day or a particular activity when he is engaging in these?
It seems to be when I ask him to do something at home. So it might be a chore, or if I ask him to turn off the TV and come to dinner, that kind of thing.
Okay. So definitely like chores, like doing non-preferred activities or stopping his more preferred activities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to try and focus on those times then. And I think, let's see, just to check, would you say that, is there a difference between the behaviors like in the evening or in the morning, or would you say it's about the same?
I would say it's about the same.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds good. Let's try and focus on like capturing the tantrum behavior when like you're asking him to stop a preferred activity. So if you're asking him to like turn off the TV, or we have to get ready for school, so we have to get up, or things like that. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That way if this is happening a lot during the day, I'm sure you don't want to have to focus on every time. So if we can focus on a specific time, narrow it down a little bit more, and then we will kind of branch out from there, expand once our intervention starts working. You had mentioned that you've tried using like a reward chart with David before, and it seems like that still helps sometimes. Are there any other things that you've tried to help with these tantrums and defiance?
No, it's just that.
Okay, sounds great. I mean, that is so awesome. I love that you're using a reward chart. We should definitely keep using that, especially since it seems like it's still helping a little bit. And then we'll probably add in some other types of interventions and maybe redefine how he can earn his rewards with the chart. It sounds like you've really worked hard on trying to get a handle on all this. So, I'm really impressed on what you've been doing so far.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. So I do want to get a little bit more information about how often this is happening and what's exactly happening surrounding the tantrums. So I'm going to give you a little homework assignment to do between now and when we meet next time.
Okay.
I would like you to start, let's see, when we have, excuse me, during the times that you're asking David to stop one of his more preferred activities, I want you to keep track of his tantrums, specifically like how long the tantrums are lasting. So if you can just check a clock when it starts and check what time it is when it ends. And just so we can be, on the same page, we'll say the tantrum is over when he's been calm for about 1 minute.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you a little chart here just to, like a sentence or two, write down what happened right before the tantrum started. So maybe you said, okay, David, it's time to turn off the TV, or I need you to get ready for school. And then what exactly happened after the behavior? Did he have to turn off the TV? Did he get ready for school? Did you have to help him with these things? That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, sounds awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. It'll really help us with
Right.
why these tantrums are happening and what our intervention can look like. So I would also really love to come and observe David if I could, preferably during a time when a tantrum is more likely to happen. When would be good for me to come by?
My weekends are pretty open.
Okay.
We don't do much on the weekends. I work all throughout the week, so.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so I will definitely try and swing by on the weekend, maybe next Saturday, if that works for you.
Yeah, Saturday at about 3.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. I will put it in my
Okay.
calendar here.
Okay.
And then at our next meeting, we'll go over all the information we've all collected and start working out our intervention process for this.
Okay.
And let's see here. So yeah, we've got a lot done today. We, really, I think we went over a lot of the behaviors that you've been seeing and talked about what David's been also, excelling at and doing well with. So that should help us a lot with planning that intervention. I'm going to leave you my email, my phone number, so you can contact me if you have any questions. Would you mind exchanging that information with me? And that way, if something comes up, I can contact you as well.
The email? Yeah. Okay. Yes. It is butterfly kiss, blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
right.
Thank you so much. And then I'll give you a call. Probably I'll give you a call on Thursday before I come over, just to check how things are going and make sure that time still works for you.
Okay,
You are,
sounds
of
good.
course, welcome to contact me if you have any other questions.
Okay.
Or if anything comes up that you're like, I don't know what to do. Otherwise, I think we're all set for today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, you too.